Okay, here we are, day one, attempted engine swap on the wagon. Got the Skylark out of the way, moved the other wagon in the yard, rivs down there. This is where I'm going to do it. Left myself plenty of room to get the motor and trans out. That's the last look at the old 307. I'm going to start dismantling this thing, draining the cooling system, all that happy stuff. The Skylark's still running. I wanted to let that fully warm up. It's been running for about 20 minutes. Time to kill this one. Back to it. Oh look, there's Moochie. Come here, Moochie. Moochie, what are you doing? But anyway, quick rundown. 1990 Buick Estate wagon. No longer has the Electra name attached to it, unfortunately, but oh well. It's got a 307, it's played out. I'm surprised it hasn't died yet. The timing chain's got a lot of slack in it. You can take the crank pulley left and right 2 inches. Goes through a quart of oil, well, a quart and a half of oil every 150 miles, 100 miles, around there. Never been maintained. Just had a fresh set of plugs and wires put on it when we put the manifolds on. So, still got no power. But as horrible as this engine has been maintained, I'm surprised it just keeps charging on and it won't die. So anyway, the 350's over here on the stand. It's got all new valve springs on it as of last night, and the roller rockers are put on. They're just loosely bolted on, and they will need, before this goes in, we're going to do the quick adjustment, spin the crank over, bring them all down to 0 lash, and then swing them over half a turn. So that's what's left to do on here. My old man's going to work on getting this put together. Well, I'm going to start tearing this beast apart over here. So, alright, don't go nowhere. Be right back. Alright, first things first, before we do anything, we got to remove our handy dandy hood ornament right here so that don't get broken. It's taking a piss. Alright, time for a mini update. Last time I saw you guys was yesterday, and last night I got the drive shaft out, I got the transmission unbolted, speedo cable off, the shift linkage is undone, motor mount bolts are out, so everything underneath the car is pretty much taken care of. The transmission lines have been disconnected, the knock sensor is off the block. I have the passenger side manifold unbolted. I took the starter out. This is going to be a last look at the 307. It's getting close to coming out. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to drop the car back down on the ground, disconnect the wiring harness, get the AC bracket, or get the compressor unbolted off the motor and kick that off to the side because I don't want to break the system open. I gotta take the heater hoses off, bleed the antifreeze out of them. I'm gonna change them anyway, so I'll take them off down there first, drain them out, then I'll take them off the firewall. And this thing should be ready to be pulled. I got the hood chilling over there against the other wagon. It's nice to see the Skylark moved, isn't it? Well, it's time for the little old workhorse to go. It's made its last run. And don't worry, I'm going to make another video after this series. Once that other motor's in and it runs good and it's been broken in, I'm putting this 307 on an engine stand and I'm going to tear it apart. I want to see just how trashed it is inside. Alright, I'll be right back. Stay tuned. And probably the next video, I'm just going to jump right to us pulling this thing out. I haven't decided whether I'm going to pull the motor and trans as one assembly yet or not. I'd like to, but I might not. So, see you when it's coming out. Be right back. Well, it's out. That's what I'm doing, that wiring harness.
I really need is just for the heater and the AC on that side.
There's that drop light.
Oh, shit.
Oh, don't worry about it. Wait, how much cord do I have?
Oh, yeah, leave the light out.
I don't have any cord. I'm like a dog on a leash.
No Honda cord. Fucking boat anchor.
Alright.
Man, I beat the shit out of that engine.
It didn't fucking blow up though.
Half the time I was even out of oil. Down to like 2 quarts of oil doing 90.
I wish I could spin the crank right now on the fucking camera and fucking see the timing chain play in that bitch.
All I gotta do is put the bolts back in it.
You want to?
Well, where the lower crank pulley is, the bolts are in it.
It's in the garage by the
All I
cutlass.
need is just a socket on the. Yeah, I need a socket on the.
Alright, you're good.
No compression. You gotta find words.
The fucking rings are dead.
Oh, that's all the play right there. 3/4 of an inch. Thank God.
I thought it might have been worse than that. Actually, I really thought it was a lot worse than that.
But the plugs are in it. And it's got no compression. I'm pushing the fuel out. It's got no compression at all. The only thing that's building up compression is the armature on the fuel pump. Holy shit. And it's tied to the transmission yet.
Is the transmission in neutral or is it in drive?
It's in park.
Oh.
You never took it out of park. Or did you?
No, I played with it after I took the linkage out.
Oh. And, let's see. Park or pull. So it's got to go that way for park.
Don't worry about that shit. Well,
So,
what matters is it's fucking out. The cat's running away.
This thing's fucking leaking oil. Need more. Oh, right here. That corner of the intake. Yeah, she's all wet right in here. Well, that's not heavily wet.
It's probably part of it. I guarantee it's all leaking from everywhere.
Remain. Probably a big chunk of it.
Alright.
All I know is thirsty. It drank a lot of oil. But I can't use this intake.
Now, you take a transmission fluid, pouring it into the torque converter because it's dry. When they manufacture them and they send them to your house in the mail, they come empty, so you gotta fill them up. So far, this one's taken. Hang on. And so far, I've got about this much in there. Probably about 2 quarts so far. So I got about 2 more quarts to go. I'm thinking this thing's gonna hold about 4 quarts. You can see it right there. It's bubbling. It's taking it in. Like here, I'll pour more in. There it is right there. You roll it around. Come on, bubble. There it goes. That's what I've been doing. 2 quarts worth so far. Fill it up. It'll drop itself in. So it's a time-consuming process, but it's something that needs to be done, or else you wipe out a brand new converter. Blazer. What's up, Blazer? Got Blazer over here. Got Moochie over there. Moochie! He's a little fucker. He doesn't listen. He knows his name, but he don't give a shit. Alright, so now we are a week later. All this work, taking that shit out, was the last weekend. Got the new transmission up here. Alright, getting ready to wheel the 350 out of the garage. put it up on the engine hoist, put the transmission on the back of it. Alright, well, this is a quick update.
I don't know, I think maybe I'm gonna run that distributor, you know.
Fuck that distributor. We got that other one in the house. New fuel line bent for the Chevy carburetor. Gotta come in on the side instead of in the front. Alright, be right back. Progress. It's in. It's starting to look good, starting to look like an engine, but we still got a lot of work ahead of us. As you could probably already tell, that AC bracket still needs to go back on, power steering, alternator, carburetor's got to go on, distributor cap, plugs wires, and a shitload of vacuum hoses, fan, radiator, fan shroud. We're in the process of putting the exhaust manifolds on right now. And after that, this thing should be ready to fire. And meanwhile, my dad is putting these exhaust manifolds on. I'm hooking up the 307. I'm going to put that on the engine stand so we can make a scientific video for you guys of this thing getting dissected all the way down to an empty block. So stay tuned for that one. I know a couple of you guys want to see that. So, be right back. Still not fully tuned and like dialed in yet. Timing still needs adjusted, and the mixture screws on the carburetor could be played with. But this is the old carburetor off Nick's 87 Monte Carlo that got destroyed. I used that one because I knew it worked. You can see my little tack. I have it wedged underneath the windshield wiper and the pedestal that the wiper rests on for now. Man, it was sketchy as fuck breaking that cam in this morning, and I had to do it at 8 o'clock before I had to go to work. Fucking half asleep. Oh, it's alive. That's the passenger tailpipe. Alright, we'll be right back. Oh, it made it to the Sunoco over here 2 miles up the street from my house on the Pike, over where the old Kmart building was. It's surging for some reason. I'm trying to put gas in it. Better gas, at least. Yeah, that 87 bullshit in there. Sounds good. Only sissies shut their cars off at the pump.
You can save up to 70%. That's 1-800-939-9368. 1-800-939-9368.
Message and data rates may apply. Oh my gosh, that's Frank Thomas. No. Yes, that's him. Go ahead. Excuse me, are you Frank Thomas?
Yes, I am.
I bet you get recognized a lot.
I was a pretty good ball player.
You were?
Some people thought so.
Sorry, we recognize you from those Nugenics commercials.
Oh, yeah? That's great.
So does Nugenics really work?
Oh, yeah. I really can feel the difference. My workouts are better.
This light kinda turned green.
A lot more energetic.
I wish my husband would use Nugenics.
It's so easy to get started. All you have to do is send one simple text. Text the word STAY to 42424 for a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster in TNC. Its unique and boosting formula is powered by Testament, a patented key ingredient, clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, more energetic, and with passion. You're going to like the news too. Text STAY to 42424 for a complimentary bottle of Nugenics. Samples are not available in stores. Text STAY to 42424. Banging out another big old bottle of rock. Welcome Central PA. 981 WPPA. Little fire extinguisher or something like our infos off on the curtains.
All stations are programmed.
No, just one for now. You're rolling smoke out of the tailpipe. Blow the shit out.